So you're finally ready to do what it takes to lose that stubborn belly fat of yours, and I'm here to help you. First though, let's determine how long it'll take you to do so. What I want you to do is first find out which one of these 6 photos best represents your current body fat percentage and where you're at right now. Now, in order to successfully strip off that stubborn belly fat, you're going to have to get down to ideally around 10% body fat or so. And by using what we know is the optimal rate of fat loss to shoot for, we can get a rough estimate shown here of how long this process will take you to do based on where you're at right now, and assuming that you stay consistent with the right approach week after week. Now, for a lot of you, this may come as a surprise and is likely a lot longer than what you expected, because most of us, and myself included, obviously want to lose that stubborn belly fat as soon as possible. But what most people are unaware of is that there's actually a physiological catch with belly fat that explains why it's so hard to lose when compared to other areas, and explains why you may not be seeing any actual improvement in your belly fat despite your efforts. And this has to do with 2 main reasons, with the first and primary reason being that when compared to other areas of your body, stubborn areas like your belly fat actually consist of a greater amount of a certain type of fat cell that's very resistant to mobilization and a lot more difficult to burn off. And secondly, the subcutaneous fat covering your abdominal area also receives significantly less blood flow than other parts of your body do. And this makes things more difficult because the less blood flow an area of your body receives, the more difficult it becomes to mobilize and burn off the fat from that area. And these 2 reasons are why your belly fat is so difficult to lose, and it's why certain areas of your body like your face, your chest, and your arms are going to tone up quickly, while more stubborn areas like your belly fat just seems to remain unchanged. The good news, however, is that losing your belly fat is not impossible. It's just that most people screw up the process before fat loss can even reach that region. But today I'll clear it all up for you with a 3-step protocol that you can use to both lose that stubborn belly fat for good and potentially speed up the process at which you lose fat from that region. Now, the first step is something that most of you are probably familiar with, but it's hands down going to be the most important step. Because in order to lose fat from anywhere, you need to be in a calorie deficit, and your belly fat is no different, as it's governed by the same principle, and there's no break in the law of physics here. So to start out, you need to be eating at a calorie deficit and combining this with regular weightlifting for the best results. And to help you out with this, I've compiled basically a starter kit of my past videos in the description box down below of how to set up your calorie deficit, as well as links to my free workouts that you can get started with and use right away. Now, although this is what's going to set up the foundation to enable you to burn off fat in the first place, your belly fat in particular is where things get a little trickier and is where the next 2 steps become crucial. So the next step has to do with actually mobilizing your belly fat such that you can start losing fat from that area. But the only way to do this, and is where most people fail with the process, is by adhering to step 1, a calorie deficit, for long enough until fat loss starts to finally come off from your belly. Because remember, your body is going to prioritize losing fat in other areas like your chest, your arms, and your face before it eventually moves on to your belly fat, since these other areas are much easier